morning and welcome down to Weather Down in Milltown. As always, this is your captain speaking. Joining you live here from Sunnyside. Currently, it is 84 degrees in the Fahrenheit. Wind west southwest, 3 miles an hour. Currently, pressure is 29.85 and rising slightly. Heat index is about 92 degrees out there. Dew point 75. No measurable rainfall. Looks like no measurable lightning in the area right now. As you see, things are pretty quiet around the Columbia Muletown area as things go. But as we zoom out a little bit, you see that's not just exactly entirely the case. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to go talk about some of these scenarios as I see them, as they may happen and go down this evening as we get a little bit closer to the main event, which is not all of this. Just want to reiterate that again. I just shared the update from the Weather Service about an hour ago. Or the hour ago update that I just shared a minute ago, rather, reiterated the same thing. This is not the main line of storms. This is not it. Don't let your guard down just yet. Still have storms coming later on in the afternoon or evening potentially, but the main line is going to be later on after bedtime. So definitely make sure you got your way to get the warning. Stay tuned, stay plugged in, all of that fun stuff. Be weather aware. So, again, have a look at those current conditions. 84 in Sunnyside. Slight wind out of the west now, about 6 miles an hour or so. And then again, pressure about 29.14 inches. Get read just a little bit off a minute ago. That may have been me. Apologies there. So today, high of around 90. We're right at that already with the heat index and all. So again, stay hydrated out there if you're out in the abouts in the Middle Tennessee area. Then tonight, pretty much 100% chance of the precip at some point, just depending on wherever you live in Middle Tennessee area. About 68 degrees for that low. Monday, don't do the proverbial thing to the messenger with this one, but we do have a slight chance of rain. It looks like partly cloudy other than that, but it looks like maybe up to about a 25% chance of seeing some scattered showers for your holiday. So again, don't blame me, I'm just the messenger. Got that tornado watch in effect. As we discussed on the page, we're actually inside the geographic coordinates of the watch box. Like 60% of Murray County is in the watch box, but we are not covered under the watch. So again, those decisions get made by people smarter than us, get paid a lot more than us to do all of those things. So that being what it is, we're close enough, again, just to go ahead and treat that basically with the need to be weather aware for the rest of the evening. And we are under the flood watch. It goes until 7 a.m. This morning until 7 a.m. Monday as well. So, again, close enough to count, all but touching the enhanced risk there is Murray County for the thunderstorms today. So keep that in mind. So first round, we did not get to be the part of. That's what was going to come through earlier this morning to our north that we talked about with the tornado on the ground near Hoptown earlier. And then potentially that second round, we may see some one-off thunderstorms coming through the area. I've got some model data that may suggest otherwise, and I've got something kind of supports that, and we'll talk about the differences and what all that means here in just a second. But the main line is going to be coming in after bedtime. So for our area specifically, probably between midnight and 2 a.m. Clearing out probably should be about by 4 or 5, and that's probably a little bit later and on the estimates. So don't just nail me to that when it could be gone by 2. So it's going to be coming through pretty quick, more than likely. Thus that damaging wind threat, that's going to be the biggest thing. We've seen some pretty gnarly straight line winds already, just aside from the tornado winds that we've seen as well. So large hail, flash flooding, whole 9 yards will be possible. And some of the longtime followers know, we always talk about this. The longer it stays sunny and hot and humid today, the worse that may be later on tonight, because that just stores up that potential energy in our atmosphere. So, again, just to recap, severe thunderstorm risk, I've got that broken down where you can see that nice and neat for Columbia Murray County there now. The area right, pretty much North Columbia, Spring Hill, Santa Fe, part of like maybe Hampshire Wave Sport there, you're in that enhanced risk pretty much. So again, just treat that as its due diligence there. Tornado risk is one of the slight risk for that technically. Obviously, higher you go up there towards the northwest, the higher that risk gets. Um, Thunderstorm wind risk about the same as the overall general thunderstorm risk that we looked at a second ago, and because it's going to be the wind that's pushing the majority of this, and then hail kind of starts to creep down there into our area just a little bit, but not as much as the wind for sure. So, lightning, which we have seen a lot of already, is starting to creep into the Columbia Murray County area there. So, if you've got any outdoor plans later on this evening, definitely, definitely keep an eye on that. If you do see lightning or hear the thunder, go ahead, go indoors. Got those graphics here somewhere that I can show you. Um, Usually my general rule is like 30 miles, 30 minutes. I think they said that's outdated now, but it's never let me down, and I've still been uh, struck by lightning once. So again, just take that for what it's worth. There we go. So lightning strike from up to 10 miles away at least. There are some anecdotal evidence of it being a little bit more than that, potentially even. So when thunder roars, go indoors, see a flash, make the dash. Obviously, if you're out in the open, you're the tallest object. That's not good. Golfing, boating, anything that involves high conductive activities like water, metal, anything like that, make sure that you are getting out of the water, off of the water, whatever. So again, as promised, some of the model guidance. So this is the this is the NAM 3 kilometer. So this is one of the ones that shows we may see some storms breaking out ahead of the main line. As you see, this advances through about 9 p.m. And then from the south there, we start to get kind of some activity bubbling up. Or no, excuse me, NAM. I'm sorry. NAM is my just straight windy line there. So you can kind of see how that forms up again. I'll let it roll since I kind of lied to you there a little bit. Did I miss the H-triple-R? Yes. Ah, okay. That's what happened. So you kind of, yeah, you see, so the NAM model shows just basically that thicker line rolling through with that heavier wind component being involved. There we go. So here is the NAM. Excuse me, the H-triple-R. Sorry, I'll get it right here in just a minute. I got my slides out of order and got me all messed up. Um, the H-triple-R here is the one that shows we may see some of those storms breaking out ahead of the main line, and then seeing a little bit more of a jagged line there, which could allow for some more of like the circulations, just depending, or some of those storms that break out ahead of the line to become supercells. So again, we got a little bit of all three of the scenarios. I think here's our last one. So this one didn't pan out quite as much because the this morning's prediction that it made didn't so much come through, but this one does show like one, I think, or two possibly strong cells coming through, being possible to come through the afternoon time. I think that was about 2 p.m. Let me see. And then us getting a couple broken bands of storms or possibly some stronger cellular storms later on as this comes through. So just a couple of different opinions. Yeah, there's that one stronger cell moving through Nashville about 1 noonish or so. So again, just three different opinions of what could go on just based on what the supercomputers think. Again, that's about as good as we can do sometimes. Let's just go off what the supercomputers are driving on and telling us. So, I forgot my little thing. There we go. But other than that, right now things are pretty quiet in the Columbia Muletown area. If you're just joining us, don't let your guard down. This isn't the main line of storms that we are expecting. That is still coming later on, and there still could be some pop-up storms left still out there. They just sprout out of the ground this time of year, pretty much. So I always say, just generally be very weather aware. If you're out by the pool, if you're out doing a cookout thing or whatever, have a great Memorial Day. But remember why we remember, not so much we celebrate, but why we remember and be safe while you're doing so. So just getting a couple more things updated here. Bear with me on and realize the ticker did not generate, so apologies there. Getting that pulled up now so you can get that. And of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw those in the chat, the comment section, whatever, if you're listening to us on YouTube or Facebook. And as always, welcome to all of our folks joining us on YouTube. The video quality is way better over there, so definitely, if you have not, head over there and give us a like and a follow. That way you get notified if Facebook, for whatever reason, does not notify you. YouTube should. One of the two. It's always good to have a redundant backup system. Always good. All right, so yeah, there we go. Ticker is fixed. So there we go. Let that run a second so you can get the gist of that. If you, again, are just joining us and you missed the current conditions at the top of the live stream. But those are basically, that's, I think, our three basic scenarios of what could happen. And then obviously the fourth of it just could rain. So again, this is all to prepare, not to scare. Don't freak out. Definitely not our purpose, not what we want you to do. Johnny O'Neill, you are very welcome, sir. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast today. Lexington, Tennessee, Heather. Got to remind me, I'm drawing a blank. Lexington, Tennessee is up towards the north around the state line, correct? I forget on that one. Geography is slacked off from what it used to be. I must confess there. Used to be really good about it. I used to be able to name you all the counties in Tennessee, and I got a lot rustier. Yeah, the sunny and blue skies, Amanda, may not be a good thing before it's over with. So that's kind of what we just real briefly touched on earlier, and it could store up some of that atmosphere like a battery. Sabria, appreciate you joining us. Dana, I haven't heard anything about a derecho. That is a great question. For those of you who don't know, derecho is kind of like for a lack of a better word, a very lay term would be just like a horizontal tornado. If you think about just like a trash can rolling down the hill, but your trash can's very, very angry and made out of wind, that would be similar to what a derecho would be. So, I haven't heard anything about it. I know that they basically had derecho conditions the other night in Texas. It usually takes them a while to confirm it, though, it seems like. But I have not heard anything about that at this time. No. Great question, though. Angel says, yeah, having a plan, knowing where to go. Yeah, I know there's some churches and like some nonprofits that do things like that around here. That's just kind of all just on their own whims as far as like public shelter goes. Um, Usually when we know have enough advance warning and stuff, the good folks at Murray EMA, Emergency Management, usually open up their shelter out on Tom J. Hitch. Again, follow those Facebook pages for those organizations to do that. Get the latest info from them. I try to share it whenever we see it, but again, just when things are real busy, I may not see it just because we will be real busy. So, Dorothy says, "Is it going to rain all month?" Good grief, it's looking possible, and it's we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks that we were thinking the last couple of weeks of the month or so we're going to be pretty bumpy, and it's held true so far. So, things have definitely been bumpy in the month of May, bumpier than I can remember in a long time. And then, kind of takes us back to what we were talking about in February with the El Nino, La Nina patterns and stuff that we were seeing out of the tropics, and just some of the long term stuff. I was thinking that it's very possible we might have a bumpy spring, and we have had one of the bumpier ones that I can remember in a long time. So definitely look like that panned out for the vast most part. So I'll run through everything again real quick, but that is the majority of what I want to talk about, not just a real long video this time. So if you're just joining us at the top of the broadcast or missed the stuff that was going on there, um, we are not covered under that tornado watch as you see right now. We'll turn the radar off and we'll talk about it right here. That way you can just literally kind of see where we're at. Pull us out there a little bit. So turn off the radar. You can see tornado watch area there. It's not, we're not covered under the watch, but we're actually, if you look at the watch box area, like the geographic coordinates, we're in it. So funnily enough, don't know exactly what's going on there, but whatever. We'll treat that as if we were close enough. Speaking of close enough, again, we'll go ahead and pop the enhanced risk area up there so you can see the enhanced risk area literally cuts Murray County about in the top like third off of it. So if you're pretty much anywhere north, let's see, what's that? Bear Creek, yeah, so you're in the enhanced. If you're south of it, you're not. So literally one of those close enough counts there as far as that goes. So definitely want you to remain weather aware as far as just kind of splitting lines, splitting hairs, just don't get all caught up on that. So tornado risk, again, pretty solidly to our north there as far as like the main risk area, but it's not too far away. So we're still in the 5% chance. I think I shared the NATO cast, or no, I did not share the NATO cast. I tweeted the NATO cast. I think I didn't put it on Facebook. NATO cast has got the 10% area a little bit closer to us, but again, that is an AI generated model, so don't get too twisted up on it. The big thing is the wind. So we are right there on the significant probability of the wind and the 30% probability of damaging wind. So this is the highest wind area. You can kind of see, I'll back it up there a little bit. That big purplish pink outline is the high risk area for wind, and we're right there on it. So this is why, folks, that we're telling y'all, go ahead and treat this basically as if we were in that enhanced, because this is the hail now, and we're right there, tip corner of Murray County touching it. So the things that we are not in as far as categorically weather-wise, we are very close to. So again, just be careful. We're inside, kind of the high there, and then the black and the purple is the biggest risk area there. So again, just take that in mind. There's lots and lots and lots of lightning they've been putting down with these. So got the flash flood watch going on. So lots of things going on at the moment out there in the weather world. So turn that back on, turn the lightning and the rain and everything back on, so you can kind of see just full picture there of what is going down. We've been watching the area like Southwest Tennessee, around Memphis, northern Mississippi for any kind of thunderstorm development. It's looking like it was trying to drag a tail of some activity down from the northwest a little bit earlier, but now it doesn't look as much like it to me. So the tail end of the line's getting almost even with Memphis coming out of Paducah, Kentucky, and it's not really dragging much with it. It's got some, but not a whole lot from the look of it. So again, just stay tuned with us throughout the evening, throughout the night. We'll be on as long as we need to be, as you know. If we do get covered in a watch, we'll have our coverage up, at least if it's just the radar, even if we're not on all the time. We'll have that coverage up as long as that watch is in effect. Currently, it does not cover Murray County, as we talked about just briefly earlier. But the graphical watch box coordinates are about 2/3 of Murray County. So just, again, treat this one as if close enough counted. Horseshoes and hand grenades, I guess. So flood watch is in effect this morning till tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Monday. So again, never, ever, 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 ever drive through moving water. Just a couple of inches can remove you from your feet, even less for a child, obviously. A couple more inches from that can float a vehicle, so just don't do it. Severe weather outlook. As mentioned, may see some strong storms just bubble up out of the ground because things are so ripe and unstable at the moment. So be weather aware, but the main round looks like it should come in after bedtime-ish, around probably midnight to 2 a.m. or so. Again, just don't nail me to that time frame because we'll show you in just a second. There are still a couple, three different competing scenarios as far as what we may see and when we may see it. There's a couple of hours variance or some differences in all those scenarios. Again, nice zoomed in version shot of the severe thunderstorm risk there. So you see Columbia, Murray County, not all the way in it, but portions of Murray County are. So definitely keep that in mind. Take that risk as it's in your backyard, because it almost is. Tornado risk higher, obviously, to the northwest there as you get up towards Clarksville and Waverly, the extreme area of the coverage area, the edge of the Weather Service office in Nashville. But we are still in that slight risk. So, again, don't get too tripped up on these terms. The Nashville tornado in 2020 or whatever I think it was under a slight risk. So don't ever think that's concrete. The Weather Service issues these things and has all these fancy words, but nature doesn't care what we call it. It's going to do what nature do because nature just does. So keep that in mind. Just be weather aware and be smart. Hail risk, not as much. Again, mainly higher towards our northwest counties there, but then lightning is creeping down with the significant risk there into the Murray County area with that. So please keep an eye on that. If you see the lightning or if you hear the thunder, my general rule is 30 by 30, 30 minutes, 30 miles. But, kids hate you for that. But I mean, again, it's our jobs. So, golfing, boating, being out on the water, any stuff like that, where you're the tallest object or you're out in the open, don't want to do. Don't ever take shelter in a tree or under a tree, anything like that. Just use your head, folks. If it's thundering, go inside. And then again, that model guidance. So this is the NAM 3 kilometer. This version looks at us facing probably more a damaging wind threat. Shows this big old thick line coming through pretty quick, about 11 p.m. midnight or so, and then probably bringing a lot of damaging wind within its wake. Would you see that kind of line there where it has that bowing kind of whip shape like that? That's what that's indicative of, and it usually does come with a rather heavy damaging wind, widespread damaging wind risk as well too. So don't want to see that. But there, however, could be some storms that break out ahead of the main line. This is another one of those scenarios to where part of this didn't come through to fruition in the morning, so maybe not take this one with more salts. But it also shows we may see a broken band or some storms again preceding the line, and then that main line coming through a little bit later than originally expected, maybe. So this is kind of the far bookend that I'm using, with the more likely scenario probably being my buddy HRRR here. Shows we may see some storms breaking out ahead of the line, but this is what I'm basing all of my time frame on right now, just because it does update the most rapidly, and it generally is my favorite. I don't know if it makes it more accurate or not. It's just the one I tend to use the most. But starting to see again those storms after midnight, probably around 2-ish a.m., and then last until probably about 4 or 5 a.m. before they clear out. So, those are the three main schools of thought at the moment. Things can and do change. Can't reiterate that enough. Can and do, and frequently do. So, stay tuned. Don't forget to like button, share, all of those fun things. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter at Bad Karma Chasing. YouTube is at WDiMT. Facebook.com/MuletownWX. Yeah, I think that's most everything I've got, y'all. Just stay tuned to it. See that big money, though. I definitely want to get to that real quick. Shout y'all out. Appreciate y'all helping us keep the lights on. Carol says, Fred, it's going to be another sleepless night. Thanks for all you do. You are very welcome, Miss Carol. We will be up with you if it makes you feel any better. So hopefully there is at least that, because we'll be up most all night with you, it sounds like. Angel, thank you for that big money. Appreciate. Amanda says there hatched area anywhere locally. Yeah, so that's the black lines that I was going over just a minute ago. For the hatched area for those specific risks. So let me turn the radar off again. We'll have a look at those. Derp, 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 derp. Where we go. Okay, so here's our day one outlook. See right there on the edge of. Ooh, did they? It updated. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. All right, so yeah, breaking news, y'all. Didn't notice it yet because I've been talking to you all, but they have massively updated the enhanced risk there. So now we are covered all the way within the enhanced risk. So let me go ahead and look at that. Ooh, gnarly. All right, so a little breaking news graphic. So let me go ahead and update this and get ready to update this on the page. Right. I'm not trying to call you Boppy if you're listening. I'll send you a text in a second. All right, so yeah, looks like just reading this, and I'll just paraphrasing here from the Storm Prediction Center Outlook. Severe thunderstorms are forecast to redevelop this afternoon across southern Missouri with strongly sheared environment. Strong Cape. Supercell structure should be the dominant convective mode for several hours. There she is. Hey, you watching the live? Yeah, you watching the live? They just updated the enhance. We're like well in it now. Go have a look. I'll at you. All right, sorry, y'all. Update the help there. So, yeah, so we are pretty well within that enhanced area now. So appreciate that question because that made me look again, Amanda. I appreciate that. So, supercell structures should be dominant convective mode for several hours with risk for all severe hazards, including very large hail, strong tornadoes. System may congeal into more of a linear structure overnight, with all hazards continuing. Okay. Amply sheared, moderately unstable environment. Enhanced risk has been expanded farther south over portions of northern Mississippi, Alabama, far northwest Georgia, based on 12 Zulu calibrated guidance. All right, so yeah, they're seeing something apparently, folks. So, again, as you see, just to go ahead and update you there. We'll have a look at our tornado risk areas now. Let that update, or is that, yeah, so that is the new one. So yeah, hatched area, we're kind of close on that. As far as the 10% or greater goes, the hatched area is there in the black, and then obviously we're down here with inside the 5, which again isn't nothing. The 2 is the lowest, which kind of you can see it if I zoom all the way out here, far down around the periphery there with the green line. So, and then I think the wind and the hail, we were in the hatched or almost. Yeah, so there's the wind risk, I think. Yeah, wind outlook. It looks like this one hasn't updated yet. We're still within that 30% risk area, but the hatched area looks like it's moved a little bit off towards like eastern Kentucky. So I may need to manually update that one or see if I can shake it loose. Same with the wind area. So it looks like we're in the 30% on the wind. They moved the hail back just a little bit. So, but the hatched area isn't far from us on that either. It does not appear. It just has not updated here on my end where we can overlay it on the map yet. So turn that back on. But it sounds like if they're updating that enhanced risk, which is the 3 out of 5 risk area, that we may see another watch be reissued downstream, either of this one. He could continue this tornado watch, or they could issue just a generic severe thunderstorm watch. But with the sheared environment that we're dealing with tonight, I would definitely say that tornadoes could be possible, even if they're brief, weak spin up tornadoes. It's looking like we're going to have enough shear to make that possible, even if we are in a severe thunderstorm watch. So definitely be weather aware for sure, for sure. All right. Marley, thank you for that big money. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. As always, helps us keep the lights on and do what we do here. Beverly says thank you. You are very, very welcome. But yeah, so if you're just joining us, they did actually just update that SPC guidance. So I'm going to take just a second here and get that updated. I'm still with you. I'm just going to give you our buddy Noah here for just a minute, okay?
For later statements and possible warnings, stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. What? Flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues to be possible. Where? A portion of Middle Tennessee, including the following counties: Bedford, Kenham, Cheatham, Clay, Coffee, Cumberland, Davidson, DeKalb, Dixon, Fentress, Giles, Grundy, Hickman, Houston, Humphreys, Jackson, Lawrence, Lewis, Macon, Marshall, Maury, Montgomery, Overton, Perry, Pickett, Putnam, Robertson, Rutherford, Smith, Stewart, Sumner, Trousdale, Van Buren, Warren, Wayne, White, Williamson, and Wilson. When? Through Monday morning. Impacts: excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations. Additional details: multiple rounds of heavy rain will be possible through Monday morning, leading to flash flooding. http://www.weather.gov/safety/ flood. You should monitor later forecasts and be alert for possible flood warnings. Those living in areas prone to flooding should be prepared to take action should flooding develop. In Nashville at 11 a.m. Cloudy. The temperature was 77 degrees, dew point was 70, and the relative humidity was 79%. Winds were north at 3 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.86 inches and steady. Around Middle Tennessee. Clarksville, cloudy, 65. Crossville, cloudy, 74. Columbia, Mount Pleasant, cloudy, 81. Dixon, partly sunny, 77. Fayetteville, partly sunny, 79. Gallatin, cloudy, 64. Lawrenceburg, cloudy, 79. Lebanon, partly sunny, 75. Lewisburg, cloudy, 81. Livingston, sunny, 73. McMinnville, sunny, 79. Murfreesboro, sunny, 79. At Pulaski, temperature 79 degrees. Rockwood, partly sunny, 72. Shelbyville, mostly sunny, 81. Smyrna, partly sunny, 77. Cookeville, Sparta, cloudy, 77. Springfield, cloudy, 64. Tullahoma, mostly sunny, 82. West Nashville, cloudy, 68. Winchester, mostly sunny, 81. Elsewhere in Tennessee: Chattanooga, cloudy, 81. Jackson, mostly sunny, 85. Knoxville, cloudy, 80. Memphis, partly sunny, 83. Oak Ridge, cloudy, 78. Tri-Cities, partly sunny, 78. Across the region: Louisville, a thunderstorm, 76. Bowling Green, rain, 66. Huntsville, partly sunny, 81. Paducah, a thunderstorm, 67. Birmingham, mostly sunny, 84. Atlanta, partly sunny, 84. Again, conditions at Nashville, cloudy, 77 degrees. Here is the forecast for Lawrenceburg, Collinwood, Culleoka, Hohenwald, and surrounding areas. Flood watch remains in effect through Monday morning. This afternoon, mostly sunny. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms early. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall early. Highs in the upper 80s. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%. Tonight, partly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening, then mostly cloudy with showers with thunderstorms likely after midnight. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall. Lows in the upper 60s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain 90%. Memorial Day, mostly sunny. A chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the morning. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall in the morning. Highs in the mid-80s. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. Monday night, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Northwest winds around 5 miles per hour in the evening, becoming light and variable. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. Northwest winds around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows around 60. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Wednesday night, partly cloudy in the evening, then clearing. Lows in the mid-50s. Thursday, sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Thursday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-50s. Friday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. Friday night, partly cloudy. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Lows around 60. Chance of rain 20%. Saturday, mostly sunny with a chance of showers. A chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 80s. Chance of rain 40%. The National Weather Service has issued Tornado Watch number 315, effective until 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This watch includes the following county: Williamson, Tennessee. Remember, a tornado watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including tornadoes.
All right, folks, I'm right back here with you. I'm going to update you on this as well, too. So, SPC just issued Mesoscale discussion number 974. Potential increased and damaging wind gusts. So, we're kind of right there in that area. Looks like that's kind of corresponding with what we're seeing with the increase with the enhanced risk area as well. So just looking at the text of the mesoscale discussion, it looks like mainly still a damaging wind threat, but possibility for embedded tornadoes within the line segment still remain possible. Yeah, so basically, yeah, things are still looking like we may be absorbed into the original watch, or there could be another watch issued for us, just depending. They may issue it as a severe thunderstorm watch, just depending. I guess it's going to be on how high they see the tornado threat as being there, whether it's severe thunderstorm or tornado. But it's going to be close. We'll call it that way either way. So. It may see, and that's the downside about the Wii alert system. So when you get the alerts on your phone, Jessica says she got one on her phone, but she's in Columbia, nothing happening. So the tower is what matters there. So not necessarily where you are or where your phone is. That's why I always say get like a GPS app or something that's based on your location. The Wii alerts are great because they get sent out automatically, but if like the tower's physical address that your phone is connected to is within the polygon or within the watch, it will hit your phone. If it's not, it won't, but you could still be within that area. So it all just depends on which tower you're connected to. If your phone likes to lag and disconnect and stuff when you're on trips, I wouldn't trust my life to it, bro. So make sure you've got something that works like for your location, weather radio, an app, or something. The Wii alerts are great, but that is one of the limitations. Kayla's driving in Chattanooga this afternoon. Supposed to be getting bad storms too. Most of the mid-state is going to be in the risk area. It's just going to depend on what time. The later risk, unless you get just like a bubble up thunderstorm, the biggest risk is probably going to come later on this evening from the the main line that comes through after, like, 11 midnight, 2 a.m. around there. But as I'm saying that, I am now starting to see a little bit of activity trying to develop now that it's getting closer into our area. Let me look here on my radar that I can mess around and zoom with without making y'all feel drunk. Yeah, there's a little activity. Looks like trying to bubble up just on the backside of this. So we'll see. If it keeps a pretty straight eastward movement, it may head this direction. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, most all of the activity happening to our north right now. So see a little bit of that begin to try to drop down, maybe over towards this area. Get you back there where you can see what's going on. But not just as of yet. So I'll throw that in motion a little bit, let you see what's going on, what's kind of transpired in the recent history. But going to be the waiting game for now. So I'll probably cut the broadcast off just since we're not quite in that area of the severe thunderstorm or the tornado watch, any kind of watch yet. So we'll come back on later as need be. If we do get any storms that are coming through, rest assured we'll be keeping an eye on them. If they pulse up or happen to go severe limits and their warning is issued, we'll get that information out to you. We'll break right back on with our coverage. And if we were issued a watch or anything like that. So it sounds like we may be. So definitely be ready for that, and we'll be right back on in a jiff, and we'll get that information to you as it breaks. Until then, stay tuned to your local weather, internets, radio sources, whichever you choose. Here down on Weather Down in Muletown, get yourself a weather radio, brew yourself some coffee, whichever you got to do, because it sounds like it might just be a long night. But we'll be here right with you throughout all of it, as always, here on Weather Down in Muletown. Until then, this is your captain speaking. Stay safe.